Morning, I had a pretty good night of sleep. It was a late wake up. I woke up pretty damn late, but it's okay. This is one of my last few days of sleeping in, so I'm trying to catch up on as much sleep as I can. Anyway, today, not much planned, but we are going to do some goal setting and we might try and organize my day and make it look a little bit more structured just from like a calendar perspective. Scrim should be starting up in the next day or two, and I really want to make sure that I'm putting in the work because our tournament starts on May the 20th. That's already been announced, so really need to make sure I lock the fuck in for that, and let's get our day started. We got breakfast. This is what we're having, and now we're gonna do some aim labs. Alright, so first little training routine of the day. I actually have something I want to work on, so we're gonna try and do everything today with a goal, and today's goal is to improve my tracking. So we're probably going to do 3 or 4 tracking exercises. We're going to try our best to actually aim at the target and not predict where it's going to go. I think that's something that's really helpful for improving your aim. So we're going to do that and continue on to the next thing. Alright, had a good little sesh, to be honest. Played about 25, maybe 30 minutes of aim labs. I actually had a good time. Something I figured out that maybe is helpful for other people is try to minimize your predictions as much as possible. I think a lot of people will predict where targets are going to move, and that can throw you off a lot of the time. So when I just, in my practice block, all I was working on was just not predicting where the model was going to go, and I just track it as best as I could. I know that sounds really simple, but you'd be surprised how many people don't track and they utilize a lot of prediction in their tracking movements. So try and keep it smooth, and that's what I did, and I found it really productive. So we're going to keep going and do some team mode now. Alright, we are about to do just some training mode. I have some interesting philosophies about training and practice in especially PUBG. For me, I tend to make training as hard as I can for myself, in the sense that I will remove any grips or compensators or just anything that will help me. So in training mode, the idea is to make it as hard as possible, so then if I can deal with the hard things, then when I add on extra assistance and extra support, that it should just be really easy. So yeah, that's my philosophy on training. But we're starting to get more into the preparation aspect of my life in terms of preparing for a tournament. That is the main thing that's coming up. That's my main focus. I will be scrimming next week again, and I will be doing a lot of studying and making sure that I understand everything that my coaches and analysts have prepared for me to look at. So I want to make sure that I really am looking at all the documents that they've taken the time to make. But as far as practice goes, today is a Saturday, so we're not doing much, but I'm still going to make sure I get the reps in. It's still important to do something every day, even if it's just a little bit. So whilst today isn't necessarily going to be a super busy day, and it hasn't been for last week, which is kind of crazy because my life is usually a little bit more structured, and I definitely feel very uncomfortable with it being so unstructured at the moment. But we're going to work on that. I'm probably going to the gym very shortly with my mates. We're going to do a leg day. I'm simply just going to make sure that I'm taking my time with each exercise, getting the form right. I want to try and improve my knee health, so I might do some pre-stretching and anything to really make sure I'm loose and I won't push myself too hard. But yeah, that's all for now. Something I wanted to talk about quickly on the way to the gym is just some goals that I have in terms of gymming. I think that it's way more interesting to talk about what my goals are, what I want to do, than just saying I'm going to do it. But anyway, my goals today are, I want to find some sort of wriggle room where I'm able to squat and feel no pain at all. So I might be going pretty light today, but I'll still rep it out. I really want to fix my knee, because I think that knee health is really important. I'm going to need my knees later in life. But that's the goal today, is just go hard on a leg day, but don't go crazy enough where any parts of my body are hurting beyond the muscular level. Obviously, I'm fine with my muscles being sore, but it's when joint pain is starting to build up, that's a bigger issue. So that's the plan, and let's get to it. Alright, we're about to have some chicken and rice, seasoned, marinated to perfection. And we're about to whack on the pan and have some chicken and rice. Say hi to Dad, he's having a
Lamington.
Treat yourself. This is one of my go-to meals while working out. I have my lettuce, brown rice, and this absolute god of a sauce. This sauce is so good. Any Aussies in here, you gotta try this, it's so good. And then we're gonna add that chicken to it, and that should be our meal one for the day. I am going out for dinner with some mates, so trying to keep it nice and lean, or at least the first half of the day. I'm only having 2 meals a day at the moment, but they're usually pretty big, so not gaining any weight. My weight goal's still intact, so we're doing alright in that regard. But yeah. And we're on to training block number 2. I'm gonna put some theory into place, I guess you could say. I've been spending a lot of the morning working on recoil control and making sure that I'm understanding the patterns of each gun, and really honestly deciding which gun I want to spend time on, really. So a few decisions to be made in terms of what I want to use and what I should be using in a tournament and why it might be good. I'm starting to lean towards a certain gun called the Beryl. It's a bit stronger than any other gun, but it is a bit harder, so I'm just thinking if I put in a lot more time, I should be able to enjoy the results of hard work, as you could say. So we're going to do this for about an hour, just nothing too insane. I am going to, however, be approaching each game with that mindset that we were working on this morning of like tracking enemies and not predicting their movements, and just seeing how that works out. And yeah, once we've finished this, we're gonna just relax, edit the video, and I'm probably going to go out and watch a movie with one of my mates tonight. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's always important to have some time off in between practice, but I am starting to get a little agitated that we're not practicing, because I feel like my days are very unstructured at the moment. I'm basically missing work, which is like half my day. That aspect is gone, so I definitely feel very, very lost in terms of what to do with my time, because I feel like I should be playing, but I also feel like I should be utilizing any free time I get to just relax and reset my mind, body, and soul and whatnot. So today, definitely feeling a little uncomfortable, really want to start getting into the swing of things, but we're just taking it as it comes. And yeah, if you guys have any questions that you want me to answer, just leave them in the comments, and I'll talk about them when I wake up tomorrow.